Hello, beautiful souls. Today's episode is so good. And before we jump in, I have some exciting news to share. If you've ever wondered where you're blocking money, this is for you. I've created a free quiz to diagnose your money wounds so you can heal them and unblock yourself to receive more money. Just go to moneywoundsquiz.com and answer 6 quick questions to get your insanely accurate and potent results. And if you're loving my vibe and want to work one-on-one to call in more feminine energy wealth, I would love to hear from you. You can shoot me a DM on social media or go to emilywilcox.com to learn more. Hello and welcome to the M Makes Money show. The episode that you're about to listen to, I recorded on December 31st. And the theme is all about closing out 2021 and what we're calling in for 2022. Now, by the time you listen to this on the podcast, we'll be a few days into January. If you're a perfectionist, you might already be feeling like, I missed the boat. This episode is not for me anymore. You may not even listen to this until January 10th or January 20th. And so there may be a part of you that feels like it's too late. And I want to tell you, it is not too late. We have a whole year unfolding in front of us. And just trust that whatever the timing is that you're listening to this episode, that is absolutely perfect. That it's the time when you're finally ready to really reflect on 2021 and really intentionally call in the energy for 2022. Maybe you've already done a few practices to get ready for the new year, and maybe this is just the whipped cream and the cherry on top. But allow yourself to fully experience it. It's never too late. The timing is always perfect, and I know that you're going to love this episode. Hello, and happy New Year's Eve. I'm here in Sedona, Arizona, which is such a special place to me. And I was actually here a year ago as well. And I had so many incredible downloads come through that really changed the shape of 2021 for me. So it's been really special to be back here and just be able to reflect on this last year and how much has changed since I was in Sedona a year ago. And I have a lot of rituals and practices around New Year's and just closing out the current year and calling in, the special energy for the year to come. And I do a visualization as well. And these are typically things that I do privately, but I thought it would be fun this year to take you along on this journey as well. So, first of all, when I think back to a year ago in Sedona, I was in an unhappy place with certain aspects of my Amazon agency. We had clients in a program where we were just coaching them on how to launch their Amazon business or how to grow it. And I was more personally responsible for those clients than our other clients where we just do it for them. And so I was chained to my laptop during the trip in a way that I hadn't been for years and years prior. So I was a little upset with myself that I didn't have stronger boundaries around just fully taking the time off between Christmas and New Year's. I was letting client expectations dictate my behavior rather than letting my boundaries and standards dictate my behavior. And so just through some of the energetic healing that was happening in this special place of Sedona and with the assistance of some energy workers that we were getting treatments from, there was a lot of communication happening between me and my higher self, me and spirit, me and God. And there was some clear guidance around just ending that program, not enrolling any new clients in it. And that actually felt really good to me, even though I would say we'd probably created, at least $150,000 in revenue in 2020 from that program. It just felt like, nope, it's not aligned, done. And my role in the agency, little did I know, was being reevaluated. Spirit was really asking me to take a step back, to take a step away, to introspect, and to really create space for something new to come through. And so I actually spent the beginning parts of 2021 on what I now refer to as a soul sabbatical. So 2021 really ended up being so different than I ever could have expected when I was here in Sedona a year ago. So just being back here, reflecting on how much can change in 1 year. How much can change in 1 year? Like everything can change. Relationships can change. Your feeling about your worth in the world, your mission, your vision, your impact can radically change. Your relationship with money, with wealth, with accumulation of money can totally change in a year. And so there's a couple simple journaling prompts that I like to do, followed by a visualization and then an optional exercise. So that's what I'm going to be walking you through now. So I've got my journal here. I've already been doing lots of these reflections over the last couple of weeks. So the first prompt is, what am I leaving behind in 2021? What am I leaving behind in 2021? Now, this could be something that did serve you, but you don't need to carry it forward. So as you're thinking about what you want to leave behind, I would encourage you to not create any story of you being wrong or any shame around whatever these things were that you had this year. It's fine. Right? It all served us in one capacity or another, or it wouldn't have been present in our lives. But it doesn't mean that we have to carry it forward. So when I journaled on this, a few things that came up, and when I'm journaling, I really like to honor whatever just pops into my mind. So I try to actually not be spending too much time in the conscious mind, but more just opening the channel so that anything from the subconscious can bubble up into the conscious mind. And whatever it is, even if it's like kind of surprising to me, I just write it down. So I say that because one of the things that bubbled up for me was fear of going viral. I had a fear of going viral. I had a fear of like too much visibility all at once this year. And that's something that served me, right? That served me because it was my brain wanting me to stay safe. It was the reptilian part of my brain that's responsible for safety, that feels like anything out of the norm is unsafe, that felt that it would be very unsafe for me to have hundreds or thousands of new people looking at my content all at the same time, right? So although it served me, I'm choosing to leave that in 2021. Worrying if people will buy. I'm leaving that behind. Again, it served me in some capacity, but it does not fit my vision for 2022. Feeling shame if a container is small. And then the term baby coach. So I found myself this year occasionally labeling myself as a baby coach because I just launched my coaching business and it was new. And I no longer want to carry that forward. So I'm leaving it, I'm honoring it for what it was, and I'm leaving it in 2021. So just spend some time sitting with yourself, a pen and a piece of paper, and ask yourself, what am I leaving behind in 2021? Then the second question is, what am I calling in for 2022? What am I calling in this year ahead? For me, I'm calling in 10x growth. I'm selling every day. I'm going to be really sharing on social media in like a journaling style. Like if Facebook and Instagram were my journal, and this is where I was capturing my realizations, the inner work that I'm doing, my aha moments, that's the vibe of how I want to be sharing in 2022. I'm calling in massive visibility and audience growth. I'm calling in amazing support. I've actually already hired a full-time virtual assistant who thus far has been incredible. I'm calling in more pay in full clients. sold out retreats, an easy breezy schedule, and morning content creation. I find for myself that if I do my writing, if I create my content first thing in the morning, it really changes my relationship with social media for the remainder of the day. So then if I'm on social media for the rest of the day, it's just looking for connection, looking for places where I can encourage someone else or comment on their stuff or get inspired. But if I'm scrolling and consuming when I haven't created, then I find that there's that little twinge of comparison or just feeling a little bit bad about myself because I'm reading other people's content and feeling like, oh, I should have already made my own. So these are some simple things that I'm leaving behind and simple things that I'm calling in that feel just so good and aligned for 2022 and what I want this year to look like. And if you feel like you'd love to share, you're welcome to share in the comments after you've gone through these journaling processes yourself. All right. So there's a visualization that I love to do at this changing of the years. And so anytime we're doing a visualization, you want to be able to really feel relaxed and safe in your surroundings. So if you're driving, if you're like having to take care of kids right now or things like that, it may not be the best time. But when you get a moment where you can just sit or lie down, be in a comfortable position and be undisturbed for the next 5 or 10 minutes, that's really ideal. So I'm going to be doing this visualization in a seated position, but you can also do it laying down. We do it with eyes closed, and I really like to lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows. You don't have to do this, but this point between the eyebrows is really special because it's the point of concentration in our bodies, right? Like if you're concentrating really hard on something, you'll often find that you're like furrowing your brows. That's because this is the seat of concentration. It's also the Christ consciousness center. So it's this part of us that's really connected with our higher self and the source and the spirit. And so when our gaze is slightly uplifted, we're really concentrated, we're locked in, and we're ready to commune with source. When our eyes are straight ahead, we tend to get lots of thoughts, lots of busy thoughts in our mind, because we're sort of in like our normal 3D consciousness. And then when our gaze drops, that's when we tend to fall asleep. So just that little noticing when you're in meditation or visualization can really change the outcome of the practice. So I'm going to close my eyes, gently lift my gaze to the point between the eyebrows, and just start with a couple breaths to kind of ground us in. So breathing in through the nose, deep diaphragmatic breath, letting the belly really expand, and out through the mouth. Do one more. And exhale. And actually, I would love to have a little music to support us in this as well. Little vibey mood music. So let's get something going. Okay. Hopefully you can hear that as well. I want you to see your body from a bird's eye view, wherever you're sitting or lying. And you're going to zoom out slightly so that your consciousness really is up above, kind of looking at yourself from this greater perspective. Churn up so much love and gratitude for this current version of you, for how brave she was this year, for how much she accomplished, for who she was being while she accomplished those things. Her courage, her bravery, her willingness to leap before she saw a net, for her willingness to get visible, for her willingness to step into her power, her mission, for her willingness to make a bigger impact on the planet, for the ways that she was able to honor herself, care for herself, create boundaries and standards that felt so good, so safe, so honoring. She did really, really great this year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we start moving into the future. We're ringing in the new year. We're watching the ball drop, the champagne glasses clink, celebrating, full of hope and excitement for what's to come. And before we know it, life is just ticking by. It's already the end of January. If you live someplace cold, maybe you've had some fun out in the snow. Maybe you did a snowball fight, made a snow angel. Just let your inner child revel in the beauty of a winter wonderland. Before we know it, it's Valentine's Day. We're anchoring in love in all its shapes and forms. Love for self, love for family, love for friends, romantic love, love for God and this planet, and the ways that we co-create a beautiful life together. And as time continues to go by, now it's spring. We're seeing all the blossoms on the plants, all the new signs of life after winter. A beautiful representation of hope, of rebirth, rejuvenation, and all that is to come. In April, you may find yourself on a spring break trip with family, splashing in the water, feeling the sunshine on your face, being so grateful to be alive and healthy. And pretty soon it's starting to feel like summer. And there's the anticipation of summer vacations, of this special time in the year where we focus on play a little bit more than work, where we're traveling, where everyone seems to be going places and doing things and sightseeing, visiting family, visiting new locations. Our inner adventurer comes out to play. We honor Papa Sun during these long summer days, especially in June on the solstice when it's the longest day of the year. There's so much light, there's so much vitality. And as we cruise through summer, pretty soon the kids are going back to school. We're starting to feel another wave of productivity in our business. As fall feels like this fun time where there's still a lot left in the year, but we're really wanting to recenter around our goals, our dreams, our vision, and really make the most of 2022. As the air starts to turn crisp and we're enjoying hot beverages and cozying up. Halloween's just around the corner. Pretty soon we're planning Thanksgiving, thinking about all the food that we're going to prepare, and already dreaming into another holiday season, buying Christmas presents. Thinking about all the fun ways that our families personally celebrate this beautiful year end. And as you're sitting there with a hot cup of tea or coffee and your journal by a fireplace at the end of December 2022, a beautiful mirror appears in front of you. It's floating suspended in air with this beautiful gold, sparkly, ethereal frame around it. And as you look into this mirror, you see the version of you that has lived 2022. She's a year older, a year wiser. As she looks at you, she has a twinkle in her eye and a sly little smile, because there's such knowledge. She knows so much that you don't yet know. Give her this opportunity to speak to you. Let her tell you about 2022. How you're going to feel. What you're going to do. Who you're being as you do those things. Ask her, what do I need to know? What can you tell me? And as the mirror is slowly starting to fade into the ether, you see her wink at you. She says, babe, you don't even know. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And that mirror turns into little particles that slowly just float away. And you find yourself seeing life and memories floating by you. But they're floating forward, and you notice that means that you're traveling backward. Back through fall, back through summer, back through spring, back through winter, until you're all the way back into the present moment, into your current body, in the version of you that's sitting at the closing of 2021 and at the precipice of 2022. Give her a hug or put your hand on your heart. Anchor in the gratitude of what has been, what is, and what's yet to come. And with hands on your heart, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you can wiggle your toes, move your body a little bit. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always so grateful for these visualizations because it's not my human who's doing the speaking and the visualizing. And so it feels like such an honor to connect with that is me and is bigger than me at the same time. So the last exercise that I'll invite you into while you're still in this beautiful state of connection with the future and feeling the present moment is to take a piece of paper and an envelope and write a letter. Write a letter to you 1 year from now. And on the envelope, you can write to open on December 31st, 2022. Write her a letter with anything that comes out. I promise when next year rolls around and you get to open that letter, you're going to be blown away. This is a practice that I learned from Amber Liliestrom, and I've been doing it for the past few years, and it's been so beautiful. It's become such a part of my New Year's traditions. So I'm inviting you into this beautiful practice as well. I love you. I thank you for being in my community. I'm so grateful for these opportunities to connect. I'm so grateful for the version of you that showed up in 2021 and did her absolute best. And I can't wait to meet the 2022 version of you. The one who's bolder, the one who's more in alignment, more in her power, more unapologetic, more glowing, the one who feels more joy and more pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy New Year's. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. Changing the way we think, feel, and talk about money will change the world. I truly believe that. It starts with you tuning in, and it spreads when you share this show on Instagram and Facebook and tag me at mmakesmoney. And you know what moves the needle the most? Taking just a minute to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. This show isn't free to produce, so let's multiply those dollars invested to help this show reach a bigger audience each week. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. And lastly, if you want more connection, more M Makes Money style riffs, and a safe place on the internet to talk about money, jump into my free Facebook group, The Money Club. It's linked in the show notes. Until next time, I'm wishing you health, happiness, and boatloads of money.